Hello. So here is my video of how to get this expression, or how I might do it. I figured a video would be much easier than trying to type this all out. Okay, so I'm in the reply section. Now I'm in sort of a reduced screen. So if you notice, I can't see the equation editor button. So there's a couple ways you could get at it. First, if you click on these three bars, you get what you can't see, because when I made my window smaller, it sort of went away, so I can see that. So there's the equation editor. But you could also do it by up here and insert, and click equation, and that would also bring up the equation editor. Oh, hold on. What I don't think you can see what everything. Oh, let me fix that. Okay, hold on. Let me fix that. If I make this bigger, will that work? Let's see now. Insert. Hey, equation. Okay, now you can see the whole equation editor when it pops up. Okay. So this is what I would do. I'm going to go on a new line. I'm going to open the equation editor. Either way. Okay, so the first thing I want is that square root. So there's actually a couple ways you can do that. You can click on the basic, there's the square root, right? You can click on it, and then notice how the underneath the radical symbol, that thing's called a radical symbol, is highlighted. So I could type in whatever it was. I think it was 5x minus 7. And I don't know if your computer, see how it's like darkly highlighted? I don't know why it's like that. But if I come out, if I use the arrow key or the mouse to come out of whatever was highlighted, it'll get rid of that dark highlight and I can see it better. Is that what it was? 5x? No, it's 5x minus 6. Okay. So equation editor. So that's one way. You could click on the thing and then type in what you want. Another way to do it is to type in, so sometimes there are keyboard shortcuts you can do. So if you type in SQRT, notice how until I got to the T, it didn't know what I was doing, but SQRT is the shorthand for square root in lots of programs like this. So I just typed in SQRT and then it brought up the square root symbol, and then I could type in the 5x minus 6. And then I can take my cursor and click out of that. Does that work? That doesn't even work. No. If I just do the right arrow, wait, no, I'm not even selected in there. Make sure you're selected. Right arrow. Hey, why is it doing that? I can't get out of there. Why is it doing that? I'm like stuck. That's weird. Okay, I'm gonna cancel this and do it again. I like got stuck in there. I've never seen that before. Let's see, SQRT. SQRT 5x minus 6, arrow out. Yeah. I don't know. Like it kind of froze in a weird way. I don't think my screen was frozen, but okay. So that's another way to do the square root. Some things have keyboard shortcuts, some things don't. For instance, let me do this again. Sometimes I can't erase what's in there either. Notice how if I type the word sigma, it'll turn it into the Greek letter sigma. But if I type the word mu, it doesn't turn it into the Greek letter mu. And I don't know why. Here's another Greek letter. Theta works. Maybe mu means something else in English that doesn't want to do it. What about alpha? Alpha works. We're going to use alpha. So sometimes you can type in the Greek letter, but with mu, I don't know why it doesn't work. With mu, you have to go here and select the mu in the Greek letters. Okay, so I'm off track here. Let me see if I can get this. Now, I'm going to write this down because I keep forgetting what I want to write. And I suppose you could do it in more than one equation, like you could do piece by piece, but I'm going to try and do it all together. Okay, so we're going to bring up the equation editor. I would type in SQRT. Well, first you have to select what's in there. SQRT. And we want 5x minus 6. Now, I can't just continue typing because we wanted an x to the 7th. Why didn't I write that down? Dang it. X to the 6th. Okay. We wanted an x to the 6th. And look what happens if you don't arrow out of the square root. So 5x minus 6. If I just started typing plus x, see, I'm still under the radical, and that's not what I want. All right, so I'm going to left arrow back into there and erase. So I'm going to use my keyboard arrows to arrow to the right to get out from under the influence of that square root sign. Now, if you're on a mobile device and you're using a touch keyboard, you could probably just tap out of it. I don't really know how that works. I do not like to use mobile devices to do work like this, but a lot of people do, so it's not like, I'm not saying it's bad. Okay, so now that's our square root part. Now we want to do the x to the sixth. So we would put plus, which is just shift, shift equals. And now there's a couple ways to do this too. Notice how up here you've got an exponent button. So if you type on that, it'll, oh, I see it brought up the exponent, nothing else. Okay, so if you want to use the letter X, you would put the letter X and then you would click on that. If you wanted to use a different letter, if you wanted to use a letter like A, you would click A and then click on it, and that would, so you can select the base first. I prefer to use the keyboard shortcut, so I would type in the letter that I want and then Shift 6, which is the caret, and notice how it didn't even show the caret, it just moved the cursor up into the exponent part. And then you could just type in the 6. And this program comes right out of the exponent after you type something in there. Not all programs do. Not all calculators do that. Sometimes you're still up in the exponent and you have to move out of the exponent position manually. What if I wanted to type more than just the 6 in the exponent position? Well, I could use my arrow keys to get back up there. Say I wanted to type 64 or 64 minus X or something like that. Okay. What if I did 67? Oh yeah. So if you use the Shift 6 to get up there, it only lets you put one symbol. Well, it only lets you put one number in there before it hops down. It looks as if you use this Shift 6 and you put a letter, it'll stay up in there until you're done. But that's interesting. But if you put Shift 6 and put a number and try to type more numbers, it comes right back down. That's a very interesting feature. Okay, but we want a 6. So I'm going to go up there and put the 6. And then we want minus, and then we want a fraction. So the easiest way to do fractions in this system is just to click on the fraction button, and then the numerator is already highlighted, so it would be x minus 7. And then I would use the down arrow to highlight the denominator, the bottom number, and click in the 4. Use the right arrow to come out of it to see if it's right, and then click done. So that's how I would do it. I'd probably do, I tend to do anything with the keyboard I can. And then if I can't, I'll use the equation editor. Okay.